Good morning, Daily Dose of Danny followers. It's Thursday. This is going to be a good one. I'm in the kitchen. So I got through last night here. I totally changed my deal. So we had dinner, rested on the couch a little bit. Then I waited and waited and waited, even though I was in pain, and did a few little breathing techniques and different things. I waited until 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, I took my gabapentin, my tramadol, my Zofran. I said to Boyd, it's time to go to bed. He was asleep on the couch. Went to bed, put the heating pad on, fell asleep, woke up at 1:56, so 2 a.m. is my witching hour in case anyone's awake and wants to talk to me. Went potty and decided I was in pain, but not a lot, so I didn't take anything. I took the heating pad out of the bed. I prayed, and this is what I said. I'm awake, but I can't be awake. I need to get some sleep. Pain or no pain, I'm sleeping. And I rolled onto my left side, which is where all the pain is, and I slept straight through to 8 o'clock. It's amazing. It's a good story. So I wrote my list down. I realized now I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read the list, so I'm going to wheel over and grab them real quick. And wheel back. These things are so filthy. It's like embarrassing to wear them in public. I'm not in public. I'm in my kitchen. Okay, so I had a doctor's appointment this morning. I went to see Dr. Dar to go over my test results, which BT dubs. They did a cholesterol test. Guess what my number is? Guess. I dare you. Okay, I'll tell you. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. 150. 150. So since that weird cholesterol test that happened in 2016, since I became a vegetarian, even though I have a big clogged fucking artery situation, 150. 150. And my bad cholesterol is like maybe 90, I think it said. My good cholesterol's in the 70s. I don't know. I sent it to my sister so they can correct me if I'm wrong. So Dr. Dar basically said, you're a rock star. But he looked at the Baker cyst. He goes, your leg's still swollen. The cyst is still there. It was huge. It was over the entire back of your knee. You need to call it orthopedic. While he was talking to me, actually before he came in the room, but definitely while he was talking to me, I started having agonizing pain. Almost like spasms, and I was like doubled over, and I'm breathing and doing all this stuff, and he's like, what the fuck's going on? And I told him, and he's like, okay, what's the plan? I go, I need to get an MRI. They need to see what's up. I need to know what's going on. I mean, otherwise I'm going to be like a drug addict. Not really. I mean, it's gabapentin and tramadol. It's not like it's anything narcotic, but still, you get me. And he was like, okay, this is not okay. He like touched my back in a few spots, which are very tender. But the pain, this is what I told him, the pain is from my spine to my sternum around, from my shoulder to my waist, front and back. That's kind of a lot of territory. Anyways, he called my regular doctor, Dr. Madelon. He's like, here's the deal. You got to get this girl an MRI stat. And then he said to Dr. Madelon, I really think she needs to be seeing a pain management doctor. And he said to Dr. Madelon, but she's stubborn. She's like the person who gets shot in the chest and still runs a mile. I started cracking up. I mean, I was in pain, doubled over on the, they want you up on that big bed. I was standing next to it, doubled over, holding on to it for dear life in so much pain. I felt like I was giving birth. I said, I could never run a mile. Relax. But that was funny. So I guess Dr. Madelon's calling me at 2 o'clock. They were just getting ready to go close the office for 2 hours. She's going to call me at 2. And then hopefully I get the MRI before July fucking 20th, which is when it's scheduled for. And then I talked to Dr. Dar about my ER visit and that stupid Dr. Laird. And he said, as the head of cardiology who spends a lot of time in the ER, he said, I've heard that about him before. He's really kind of condescending. I go, he's a fucking misogynist. He's an asshole. And I railed on and gave him the whole 411. I said, he fucking read the wrong report. I mean, first of all, you're an asshole. Second of all, you might be incompetent. So Dr. Dar pulled up the CT and he goes, no, yeah, I don't, He goes, I don't see that report here. I see a report saying what Dr. Madelon told me. It says, I don't know where he got that other report. I said, well, apparently it's assigned to me somewhere out in the nether regions of the cloud. And Dr. Dar's like, well, that's not good. I know the COO, and I'm going to lodge a complaint on your behalf. So I was like, okay, thanks. I said, I'm still waiting for my survey to come in the mail, and then I'll just fucking sizzle his ass. So just because I talked about that, I'm going to talk about this other thing, which is when I got home and I texted Grace and I was like, I'm coming home, I'm in agony, get my pills ready. So I come home and I'm laying on the couch. I just put the heating pad on, the phone rings. It says no caller ID, but I answered it on speakerphone. I was like, hello, yes, I need to speak to Danny. This is Danny. So he goes, hi, Danny, this is Juan from Santa Rosa Memorial Hospital. I was just calling to follow up on your ER visit, see how you're feeling. So I went off on him and told him the whole 9 yards. He was like, wow, okay. So he gave me the number of patient services. He goes, I'm sure Dr. Dar is going to do a good job of representing you, but they usually like to talk to the patient too. So he gave me their number, so I'll call them. Not right now. Not right now, because here's what. On the way home, I said to Leah, I don't know, I mean, maybe I should start thinking about alternative pain relief. So she's like, let's go to the dispensary. So we pulled in, this is so not my jam. And the guy comes out to the car and he says, are you picking something up? I go, no, I've never been here before. I want to talk to someone. I need something. I'm in pain. He goes, okay. So he sends this guy over to my car and he's like, what's the story? I'm telling him everything. I mean, I'm vomiting out pain things like he's never heard. I was like, I should go to a pain management doctor, but they're 4 months out booked and this, I got 2 compression fractures in my spine. He goes, what do you want? I go, I don't know. What should I take? He goes, let me go get you some samples. So he comes back with CAD, CBD tincture that you put under your tongue. Then he comes back with this proof, which is also a little under the tongue thing. And then he came back with this proof, full extract cannabis oil, indica. And this is like in a syringe. And he's like, so this does this. And I go, give me all of them. He goes, what? I go, you heard me, all of them. I go, and this is a cash business, right? He goes, yes, it is. So Leah and I are in there opening wallets and counting out cash like a bunch of dorks. But I bought them all. And I came home and I did this. You put a drop full under your tongue, hold it for 15 seconds, and then swallow it. I mean, I'm still in agony. I'm not agony, I'm still in a lot of pain. Manageable pain for me, which could be agony for others. But anyways, I don't know if I'm stoned or not. Do I look stoned? Do you get stoned from this? I ate like 5 saltines, like I really felt like I needed to eat them. Maybe it's the munchies. Okay, anyways, so here's my list. Cholesterol numbers are great, we went over that. Okay, I read that 45 has to give the New York prosecutors his financials. Let's find out how poor that motherfucking cheating, bankrupt, claiming piece of crap is. What do you think? He doesn't have to give them to the feds, but he has to give them to the New York State prosecutors, who thinks those fuckers are going to be leaked, not just to the feds, but to the public. I do. Call on me. So my mother-in-law sent me this thing last night. She's like, have you ever heard of the Lincoln Project? And then she sent me the ad that they have out. Some hot shit. If you don't know what the Lincoln Project is, look it up. But let me just tell you, it is a group of Republicans who want Trump out of office. And they're naming names of the Republicans who fell down on the job. So it's kind of a radical idea. So that's that. Look it up. It was interesting. I love the ad. I see that the Supreme Court ruled that employers can withhold birth control coverage from its employees. So I think everyone in the world knows that I am fucking 100% against that goddamn rule. But I'm thinking if we're going to withhold birth control, then we shouldn't cover Viagra either. That'll rule out 100% of unwanted pregnancies. We could all go off birth control if we stopped managing the limp dick situation. Because all these 20-somethings that are on Tinder and all that shit who drink and smoke pot and have less blood flow to the old weenus penis are taking Viagra. So I say no to Viagra, then no to birth control. You want to play? Let's play. Okay, Arizona is out of control with their fucking viruses. They opened too soon and they closed too slowly. It's like, pull your shit together. People shouldn't have been at the gyms or the bars or the restaurants or out having backyard parties or cruising down the Salt River or whatever the fuck they were doing. Pull your shit together. Stop right now. Wear a fucking mask. And don't just put a goddamn bandana on there. There's real evidence that shows that the N95 is the jam. Now, I know these are for nurses and stuff, and you probably don't have access to them. But if you're wearing a cloth mask, please wash it frequently. Don't just wear it and think it's good enough to wear 24/7. You got to wash that. And I mean, what I do with mine is we hand wash ours, and then we spray them with Lysol. You got to be thinking, you're putting this up against your face. You're breathing air in there, and it gets moist, and then that can attract other germs that are in the air. Think about it. Think about it. Okay, Ohio apparently has a politician who's dumber than dirt, and he thinks they should stop testing. He thinks if they stop testing in Ohio, I'm just tightening the backs on my earrings. If they stop testing in Ohio, that, you know, the numbers will go down and things will get better. Apparently he's an Ohio politician, but he talks like 45. He's a dumbass. Don't listen to that motherfucker. Get a goddamn mask, and guess what you do with it? Put it on your fucking face. When? All the fucking time. In public, mask. In public, mask. You don't have to wear the mask in your car like an idiot. After you come in and out from the place, you can take it off. You must wear a mask in public. Okay? Got it? The Division I athletes in the Ivy League have announced that there will be no sports. They're not doing it. They're not playing this game. Football's done. First Division I group, Ivy League, to say they're not doing sports. So, bravo, or I'm sorry. I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't. I mean, I read that Stanford's cutting out a bunch of sports, and of the sports that they cut out, which is like underwater basket weaving, synchronized swimming, rowing, there was another one that I thought, oh yeah, okay, squash, but they're cutting out wrestling and men's volleyball, two sports that I think are legit. So that was kind of sad to read. But okay, the fashion industry is trying to get us some fashion to look forward to. Some things that are like corona positive, that, you know, conceal your corona 19, whatever. They're bringing back the peasant look. You guys know what I'm talking about? With the little tiered ruffles and shit. So my friend sent me a text this morning saying, what the fuck with the peasant look coming back? She goes, we cannot go down the prairie path. And I laughed. That was before I took all my marijuana drugs. I was laughing so hard. I mean, go down the prairie path? Isn't that just funny? I thought it was funny. Okay, so in Northern California, since I've lived here, which I moved here in 1991, I believe, they don't have Dunkin' Donuts. We don't vibe with Dunkin' Donuts here. Now, I love Dunkin' Donuts. Not all the donuts, although I've eaten all of them. Sometimes a dozen by myself. When I was on the swim team, that was like not even an issue. I could do that on a Saturday morning. No problem. But there's one specific donut at Dunkin' Donuts that I love. And if I'm anywhere where there's a Dunkin' Donuts, like I was on a soccer trip with Leah on my way to the airport, I went to, got this. In New York, gotta go to Dunkin' Donuts. Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm somewhere and there's Dunkin' Donuts, I must go. It's it's a, regular like donut, donut color, tan, not as tan as me, but tan. And it's smooth, kind of oblong shaped, and it's filled with cream. Not custard, not heavy cream. It's like cream. It's like the cream sticks at the Tiffin Bake Shop. That's why I like this donut. It's from my childhood at the Tiffin Bake Shop, the cream sticks at the chip. Oh my God. So Dunkin' Donuts makes one of those. So anyways, they opened one in Santa Rosa. It's like 2 miles from my house. I want to go there because I need this donut. I wonder if they would give me a dozen of just those donuts. Of course they would. They'll do whatever you ask, but I don't want to go inside. It's a whole thing. And there have been times when I've asked for it, and they've mistakenly given me something that's like filled with custard. No, that's not what I want. No. So I think my daughter might be going there and bring me back one, which I need because I'm using drugs. Okay, so listen to this. So my Grace had 2 roommates last semester. One of them left the school. She's gonna just go to the community college. It was too much for her. She just couldn't do it. I mean, she's very connected to her family. It was really hard to be away. It's a whole thing. So it turned out it was just Grace and her roommate Hannah were left. Hannah plays basketball. She's the sweetest girl ever. So they decided, Grace and Hannah decided they're just gonna be roommates together from now until graduation. Like that, they decided this. And Grace is in the disabilities thing. You know, she gets help from the disabilities department. And so she got early selection for rooms, and she could only have 1 roommate, even though most rooms are 3. They could block off a bed and just have Grace and Hannah be roommates. So on selection day, that was early, Grace got to go in, choose a room, she knows her room, she knows her roommate, set up. So now Corona, motherfucking Corona, back again to fuck shit up. They sent out an email saying that if you live within 20 miles of the school, we are asking you to volunteer to not live on campus. That was email number 1. I said to Grace, you're out. You fucking live a million miles away. Email number 2, if you live within 20 miles of the school, we are not letting you move into the dorm. We're going to go through, find out who you are, and send you a letter saying you can't move in. Again, Grace and Hannah are chilling. Life's good. Then Hannah lives 21 miles away from the school. 20 fucking 1. But they said 20. They didn't say 21. They didn't say under 25. They said 20. She gets a letter saying you can't live in the dorms. So she calls Grace. What the hell? What are we going to do? Now it says right on the letter you can appeal this ruling. If your appeal is denied, then that's the final word. So Hannah's like, I'm going to write a letter, and her basketball coach is going to write a letter. And Hannah has a medical condition, which I will not disclose here, but she needs to rest a lot through the day. So being on campus is a good thing. Like she could just go to the dorm room, take a little snoozy, then go to class. And of course, Grace, what the fuck? Grace can't be without Hannah. Grace, it's not easy for Grace to live with someone. It's not easy for someone to live with Grace. So Grace was all stressed. So she's like, Mom, we got to write a letter. So we wrote a letter yesterday and sent it through, and it's in the Grace got a response that says it's in the folder for the appeals process. So fingers crossed, because this is going to fuck shit up, assuming that she goes, which I don't know. But what was I going to say? Something flashed in my head. Shoot, I think it's the drugs that make me unable to form sentences. Roommate situation. Oh, yeah. So the irony of who we're writing this letter to, that's what I was going to talk about. So Grace's dorm that she lived in last year, the freshman dorm, it's freshman girls on one side, Laguna, and Huntington Hall on the other, and they share a lobby. So when Boyd and I went there, I was appalled. I mean, disgusted. The couch is falling apart. The cushions are all stained up. You know, it's like the TV's hanging off the wall. It's a shit show. I was like, what the fuck? Who wants to go to... And Grace is telling me in our conversations that she's hanging out in the lobby. And the whole time I'm thinking it's like a cool lobby. It was a piece of shit. They have an outdoor area with a fire pit that's much nicer. I guess she considered that the lobby. She said people were having sex on the couch. What is wrong with these Christian schools? Pull it together, people. So anyways, so I got in contact with this woman who I said, you know, that's not acceptable. I know my kid's not going to be the next year, but how do you guys pride yourself on being a private Christian school with low ratios and big money tuition and have a fucking lobby that looks like that? That is not cool. I said, do you have any plans to upgrade it? She goes, yes, we're in the process. We got everything approved. We just don't have the money. So I was like, who's in charge of this? Da, da, da. Anyways, 3 contacts later, I get to this woman and I say to her, I'm going to put up some money for the lobby, and I want you to get people to match it, or a group to get together to match it. She's like, okay, well, here's how much it costs. I said, I'm paying half of that. And she was like, no, you can't. I go, yeah, I fucking can. This is an insult. I feel sorry for the freshmen next year, and I just can't have it. I go, my daughter's probably still going to come over there because that's, you know, her area. And her new dorm, I know right now, is like just right across the courtyard. So anyways, she's like, oh my God, that's so awesome. So literally she put a thing out there on their little fundraising page that they got half, and immediately one other family did the other half. So they're going to have this amazing lobby. The woman who I was doing all this going around with is the woman at the head of the housing. She's the one Grace wrote her letter to yesterday. And I wonder if she's going to put 2 and 2 together. And you know what? That's some white privilege, motherfucker, to try to get my girl her roommate situation and let her roommate stay and have the roommate thing work out. I don't know. I feel like I'm on Full House or Desperate Housewives. It's one of those. Okay, I'm gonna go. This was a good one, almost 22 minutes. I didn't talk anything about race relations, which is too bad because I think I had some things, but they're in the office. I'm in too much pain to walk back there. All right, I love you guys. Pray for me. Okay, bye.